we had our famous science critic, okay, and this fellow made a video, 45-minute video, criticizing the scientific method, the rational scientific method. And the reason I analyze him is because in his 45 minutes, he essentially represented what everybody out there more or less believes in and or has been brainwashed with, high school and college. And so they just accept whatever the mathematicians feed them. They think science is fine and dandy. They don't see any problem with anything. And here we are, 3,000, 4,000 years later, and not a single person can tell you how gravity works, how magnetism works, how a magnet attracts another, what light is. You know, what is this thing called light? Is it the vibration of the ether, as they said in the 19th century? They cannot explain a single phenomenon out there. They don't even know what electricity is or how the atom works because they don't have a picture of the atom. You know, and people say, no, they've taken pictures of the atom with the sun with the atomic force microscope. Very simple. Just draw for me an atom, and we'll know if anyone knows in the mathematical establishment or those who follow them, if anybody can draw a picture of an atom. I mean, what is it? A proton surrounded by an electron? Because the electron is known as a bead. It's known as a particle, discrete particle. The proton is made out of three particles, quarks, right? But again, it's considered a single particle. So we have a single ball, bowling ball, 1,800 times as heavy as the electron, and we have the electron next to it. That's the atom. Is that what they took a picture of? Show it to me. Show me the picture of a proton and an electron and tell me that that's the atom that they took a picture with atomic force microscope. Or any atom. You take the uranium atom if you want, no problem. Show me just the nucleus and the electron. That's the one I want to see. Have we seen electrons like little beads around the nucleus of the uranium atom? Is that what we've seen? No, of course not. Not a single person can tell you what the atom looks like. And in fact, they have these versions. They call it the cloud version, the shell version, where you have like the way they draw it at least. They have this encapsulating, not membrane, but what they have is an encapsulating energy level, because they're going to talk about math, and they have this little bead jumping back and forth between energy levels. So again, they have the planetary model to explain ionization, quantum jump, electricity, but then they deny that atom, say, no, well, by the way, that's not our atom. And so, no, we do not have a picture of the atom from the establishment, something that you can draw and say, look, Bill, this is what the atom looks like. I mean, that's how simple it is. Go look one up, show me what an atom is, not the one that they took a picture of because they take them from far away, bird's eye, and what you see is a ball. So we don't know what that is. If the atom is a little electron rolling around a nucleus, you should not see a ball. You should see a little bead going around the nucleus. That's not what we see in the pictures. So what I don't want is a photograph that they take or some kind of image that they've taken with an atomic force microscope or SEM. What you need to show is a drawing. Draw for me an atom. That's what I need. I need to know what you conceptualize an atom as. What are you going to draw? A nucleus surrounded by a little electron bead? That's the issue. Okay, so no, nobody knows what an atom looks like in the establishment or in the dissident world like the electric universe and all these other people. Okay, so this fellow, he essentially represented what most people out there think of physics, the notions they have, and it's all this mathematical gibberish that they've been fed for the last 400 years. And this is what they study in high school and college, and this is what they repeat. They just parrot it, and that's it. So they never did an analysis of any of this. And it turns out this fellow now made a new video. Someone pointed that out to me, and he made a video of analyzing the issue of predictions. And I won't get to that today. Talking about prediction, I'll address that later on. But this is what the new video looks like, more or less, okay? And he says, a confused man thinks scientific predictions are useless. He was referring to me as the confused man, pseudoscientist, number 4, okay? What caught my attention was that he had his fingernails painted. And let me tell you something about that. It turns out that a few years ago, I had a couple people here, three boys, three 20-year-olds. And I had heard that men shave their legs. And I didn't think that maybe it was one guy who did that, but I didn't think it was so popular that it was a fad. And so I told these three guys if they could, pull up their pants so that I could see their shins. And they didn't know why, but they all complied and they all pulled up their pants and showed me their shins. All three of them had their shins shaved off. And I thought that was kind of weird. But this guy beat them all because, I mean, he painted his fingernails. Okay, so that was kind of strange. And yeah, I guess we do live in strange times. It just confirms for me that, yeah, we are the last humans on Earth when we start doing things like this. These are not just fads. There's a little more involved than just a fad here, okay? That's the way I look at it, at least. Anyway, when we start doing things like that, it's because we live in strange times. Okay, so what did Mr. Fingernail do? He did the following. He talked about truth, okay? And so we'll hear it from the horse's mouth. This was the issue. And let me put this on. Let me get this rolling so that you can see what the issue is about. Here it goes. The questions and issues to be addressed today include, can what is true today be shown to be false tomorrow? If so, was yesterday's truth a truth to begin with? And is truth, also known as knowledge, a synonym of belief?
The science of today could be shown to be false tomorrow. But the only way that we could find out if science is false is by obtaining more knowledge. If someone shows that your knowledge is wrong, then that will no longer be a justified true belief. Although that is quite a philosophical rabbit hole to dive down, which involves talking about what exactly is truth. And this is kind of the point that I'm getting at about truth. What one person considers to be true may be entirely different to what another person considers to be true.
Okay, so this appears to go in circles. What does Fingernail say? He says the following. He says, as I understand it at least, science is the same thing as truth. Truth is knowledge. Knowledge is belief. Therefore, science is belief. Is that what science is all about? Belief? Unless you can correct that, that seems to be his train of thought. And I've been looking at, several of his video, or analyzing different aspects of his video. And so, yeah, he believes that science has something to do with truth, truth with knowledge, knowledge with belief, and so we end up with science equal to belief. So he goes around in circles to say the same thing I told him in my video. I said, yeah, that all these people think that science is just belief. Convincing people, persuading them to believe your theory. And if you persuade 50% plus one, your theory becomes a fact or knowledge or whatever they call it. But then he says, what we knew for a fact yesterday, what was truth yesterday, today we can discard and say, well, it wasn't the truth. So was it the truth yesterday if today you showed it to be false or a lie or just a unwarranted belief? So we got a contradiction because these people go around in circles and they don't realize it. They say, look, science is about seeking the truth. Truth is about knowledge. Knowledge is belief. Science is belief. But no, it's about the truth, about seeking the truth. If you can prove your knowledge wrong yesterday, that means it wasn't knowledge. It wasn't truth. It was irrational. It was a lie. It was a falsehood. You can't say that what was true yesterday is false today. Truth is eternal, always. And if you discover that it's no longer the truth, you proved it, like they say in math, then yesterday's truth was not truth. All it does is negate that they had the truth in the past. In the old days, God was truth. They had proved it, everybody believed it, and a lot of people today are questioning that, and there's a lot of atheists and so on. They say, no, God does not exist. God is not truth. I know God does not exist. And so what does that do to the truth and knowledge we had 500, 600, 1,000 years ago? It's just that that wasn't the truth. It wasn't knowledge. That was a lie. So in retrospect, it was not knowledge. It was just a belief. And that's what truth and knowledge are, just beliefs. What is true to you, like this fellow says, is a lie to your neighbor, or a falsehood, or he doesn't believe it. And so your truth is not his truth. And they don't understand that. They keep talking about knowledge and truth in the context of science, when knowledge and truth, as this guy says, it's just belief. It's just everybody's opinion. Is science about opinion? Science about belief? I thought that was religion. Okay? And yeah, here's one fellow, and he says, I think the following, he says, philosophy is search for truth. Well, so we don't know if physics is the search for truth, science is the search for truth, or philosophy is the search of truth. And we'll never find out until you define philosophy. As long as we don't have a definition for philosophy, or we have 10 different definitions, or none at all, like in the case of the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, no definition whatsoever, then we don't know what philosophy is, and you cannot say philosophy is the search for truth, okay? Because like this guy would say, maybe science is the search for truth. And here's the breakdown. If what is true today can be false tomorrow, then was it true to begin with? That's the only question you really have to answer. And when what one believed to be true can be shown to be a lie if and only if you convince the believer. If you cannot convince the believer, he continues to believe in his truth, which happens to be different than your truth. Again, truth is just an opinion, okay? So if truth is just a belief, at least among humans. Now, Mother Nature, that's different. Mother Nature, Father Universe, they know the truth. What do I mean by that? I mean that, they have in their file cabinet somewhere in the past what actually happened and how it happened. If we could tune into Mother Nature's brain and read it, or go to her file cabinet and find the actual, pictures and films of what actually happened, then we would be in touch with the truth. That's the truth. That's exactly what happened. But, we can only speculate. And I'll give you an example. Someone was witnessing a murder. He says, Joey killed Susie. Okay, he was there. He saw it. He says, I know the truth. Now he comes to you and he says, Joey killed Susie. Well, you say, well, but that's your opinion. No, I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. I don't know, maybe you were drunk. I don't believe you. So again, maybe the person who witnessed it shares the knowledge that Mother Nature has. But all other people need to be convinced, persuaded that that's the truth, meaning they're going to have to believe in your version of the truth. The only way they can really be absolutely sure and share Mother Nature's truth is by going to her file cabinet. That's why truth and knowledge have nothing at all to do with science. Truth and knowledge belong exclusively within religion, because they rely on, they're synonyms of belief. That's all they are among humans.